The Dodgers return to first place and get good news on Blake Snell. USC loses a receiver from its 2027 recruiting class. And speaking of the Trojans, a key player is returning to its basketball team. Good morning. I'm James. And this is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos Morning Report. It is May 20th, 2026. Welcome back to the home office, but I'm going to be on the road again in a matter of moments. We added a new subscriber to the Angeleno Familia yesterday. Thank you. We're going to do our best to keep you informed. And if you like being in the know about LA sports, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop an update. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. By all means, comment. So before we go through the news and notes, we have a look at the scoreboard. Dodgers 5, Slime Diego 4. The Dodgers reclaim first place, which is their birthright. Freddie Freeman hits 2 home runs, but Andy Pages, chef's kiss for a professional at-bat against Padres closer Mason Miller. A 9-pitch at-bat, which resulted in a sacrifice fly for the game-winning run in the 9th. Tanner Scott gets the win in relief, and the magic number is down to 114. Meanwhile, today, the Dodgers are at Slime Diego one more time at 5:40. Shohei Ohtani versus Randy Vasquez. And Kansas City is at Angel City FC at 7. Angel City's on a 4-match skid. So with that out of the way, let's get to the news. I will say that when was the last time you've ever heard that surgery on an athlete was a failure? It's always a success. So with Blake Snell getting elbow surgery yesterday, that's not the big news, that it was a success. The news is that the doctor was able to utilize a new device, the Nano Needle 2.0, which makes the procedure less invasive. And as a result, less of a cut that cuts the healing time. Without getting too sciencey, the nano needle is a smaller version of a traditional arthroscope that can cut up to a month off of your typical recovery time. 3 loose bodies were recovered from within Snell's elbow. Now, by comparison, Edwin Diaz had the traditional version of the procedure done. That's leading to a recovery time of 2 to 3 months, which I suppose for him is fine. That'll give him all the time he needs to come up with an alibi for the cockfighting, but I'll digress. American League Cy Young Award winner Tarek Skubal underwent the procedure with the device that was used for Snell. That surgery was done on May 6th. It's 2 weeks later. He's already throwing. They expect him back in a month and a half. So, yeah, I would call that pretty doggone good news. Meanwhile, the LA Daily News reports that new Dodger pitcher Eric Lauer will make his season debut in blue Tuesday against Colorado at Dodger Stadium. That means he's going to avoid starting against Milwaukee. Now, his numbers this year have been an abomination. ERA alone, 6.67. So why would they want him? Well, everywhere else he's pitched, he's been a Dodger killer. 7-2 against LA with the Padres, Brewers, and Toronto. So I'm assuming because they've seen enough of the guy, they think there's something that they can tweak to get immediate results. We'll have to wait and see. And Ben Kasparius was transferred to the 60-day injured list. So lots of Dodger news to discuss. Feel free to let me know what you think in the comments thread. A couple of years ago, when a gaggle of East Coast high schoolers committed to USC and then rug pulled Lincoln Riley at the last minute, when that happened, Riley had enough and he made a policy. Once you pledge to this program, no more trips to other colleges. We're not going to act like it's not a big deal. You go to whatever college you want to, and your commitment, we are turning our backs. Straight and simple. Don't care if the school is flying you first class on Delta. Don't care. And it's been a pretty dang effective deterrent until yesterday. 4-star wide receiver Eli Woodard changed his mind, which, as we've been saying on this program for years, teenagers are wont to do. Now, oddly enough, he's not an East Coast player. He's from Temecula. Multiple media outlets came and swiftly reported that Miami made a better financial offer. But you may have noticed there wasn't a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth over at Heritage Hall. Rivals.com still ranks the Trojans recruiting class as 4th in the country, tops in the Big Ten. But there's more to it than that. I don't think he's going to be missed. I really don't. Take last offseason, for example. USC loses Zachariah Branch and Deuce Robinson in the transfer portal. Branch to Georgia, Robinson to Florida State. Everybody thought that the Trojans offense was going to faceplant without Branch. That was what everybody was saying about that guy. Surefire pro prospect. What a talent. Not only can he be a receiver, he can return kicks. He's a threat to score anytime he touches the ball. And yet, without him, Makai Lemon and Jacoby Lane thrived. Lemon was taken in the first round. Branch was taken in the third. And by the way, the guy immediately taken after Branch, Lane. So the point I'm getting at is USC has been known as a quarterback school. USC has been known as a running back school. Don't sell that wide receiver heritage short. Leave USC at your own peril if you're a receiver. Also at USC, as anticipated, Jacob Kofi has withdrawn from NBA draft consideration and will return to USC basketball next season. Now, he was invited to the G League Combine, which sounds goofy on its face, right? But he impressed enough to get invited to the big table, to the adults table, the NBA draft combine. And of course he went. I mean, why not? You kind of want to figure out where you stand as a pro, especially when you're only a sophomore. You'd like to find out what they would want you to work on. Well, he apparently got the idea that he should boost his stock with another year in college ball. Totally sounds plausible. Kofi started 32 games for USC last season. He averaged 9.9 points, 6.8 rebounds, and he recorded 5 double-doubles. So there have been additions with recruiting for USC hoops. Elijah Arenas is back. Rodney Rice is back. But Kofi is a get. Kofi is most definitely a get. So lots of stuff going on over at USC. The LA Times told me while I was looking at the news yesterday that the Lakers offseason revolves around Luka Doncic. Thanks. Who knew? What is somewhat newsworthy, because of course we all knew, is that while Doncic did recruit Marcus Smart and DeAndre Ayton last offseason, he would not publicly commit to doing so again this time around. Smart and Ayton have player options on their contracts. They could choose to stay in LA. They could try to seek greener pastures elsewhere. The center is a curious case. He recorded career lows in points, rebounds, and minutes. So you would say, hey, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord splits you. But the problem the Lakers face if he chooses to leave is the backup last season was the profoundly helpless Jackson Hayes. So that's a thing. That's a thing. I don't know how much faith you should put into the story I'm about to share with you. In terms of leadership, Portland is an absolute mess. right? I mean, the guy they hired to coach last year, Chauncey Billups, was suspended because he's currently awaiting trial in a federal court for an alleged role in rigged poker games. That's a hobby in the off season. And they used to think the players were the trail gangsters. The coaching staff is allegedly hanging out with real ones. Anyway, a Portland sports site is claiming that new ownership, despite the fact that the team made a surprise run to the NBA playoffs last year with an interim coach, that you just want to say to hell with it and clean house. And they are looking at Lakers assistant Greg St. John for the big gig. How much faith you should put into that? Damned if I know. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me about how glorious it is in San Diego to basically show the Padres what's what. And for that matter, USC losing a receiver. Do you see an impact with the Trojans a year from now? And if you enjoyed this update, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Cortel Queso production. Take care.